Welcome. In this video, I'm going to briefly discuss the value of having course shells that are very similar in setup and organization. When COVID hit, I was given the task of designing the course shell for SMS 202. Given that students were all going to be online, I wanted to make it as easy as possible for them to navigate because I wouldn't be there to help them in person. SMS 202 is a core subject, and there are usually 20 to 30 sections of that course. A few semesters later, I was given the task of creating a course shell for MBF 101. And I thought to myself, if I was a student and I was used to navigating one shell, how much easier would it be if the other shell looked very much the same? So I went about creating MBF 101 to mimic as closely as possible SMS 202. So if you take a quick comparison, course information start here, course information start here. This is 202, and inside start here, a number of different steps the student needs to complete prior to starting the course. And inside MBF, same thing, a number of different steps they need to do prior to starting the course. If it's an online course, you're going to have a Zoom folder. Inside the Zoom folder is the link and training materials. And over here on MBF, similar Zoom folder, similar training videos, and similar link to the Zoom meeting. Now, one of the limitations with Ultra is that you can only go 3 layers deep with your folders and items and documents, etc. This is fine for MBF. I can have a main learning module called weekly sessions, and inside that I only need to go 2 deep, so I'm okay. But with SMS 202, I actually would need 4 layers, so I had to eliminate that top layer. But everything else is again the same. So if I go back to MBF, if I click on the weekly sessions folder, I have a quick reference guide, and then I have my weekly folders. And if I'm looking at SMS 202, I have my quick reference guide and my weekly folders. Inside the weekly folders are all of the lessons, practice exercises, quizzes, etc. Everything that's required for that week. If I go over to MBF, again, if I look into any folder, this is all the material that's required for that week. So both sections are set up in a very similar fashion. A student who learns how to navigate one course can easily learn to navigate the other. They're very similar. And consider, if you will, if you're a student taking 5 courses, not only do you need to learn 5 different sets of course material, but you also would have to learn 5 different setups and organizations because each professor is setting their course shell up differently. And you can imagine how confusing that might be to a student, and extra work involved for them, that's not really necessary. So I think the closer we can come to having a similar setup, not only makes it easier for the student, but also makes it easier for us. We spend less time helping them with the navigation and more time doing value-added activities to help them do well in the subject. And that's it.